Hey everybody, welcome to another Cheltenham Focus with me, Daryl Carter from RacingTips.com. Cracking weekend yet again. Things are really hotting up. There's so many clues here, there and everywhere. Amazing action all weekend from Sandown, from Wetherby, everywhere you look. There was just got some great action. So what we're going to do is do a quick weekly review, drop back through the week, pick up some decent performances that we've seen, and then we normally end this with an anti-post bet. Nothing's really caught my eye this week, big enough price, so we're going to leave the anti-post bet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 4 or 5 horses from our tracker for the next few weeks, so that hopefully we can pick up some extra pocket money. We're around 12 weeks out from Cheltenham now. It's getting really exciting. After Christmas, we're going to start getting stuck into some smaller prices, some real festival chances. It's going to come thick and fast as soon as Christmas is finished. So, without further ado, let's kick on with the weekly review. Dashel Drasher on Wednesday went off at 10 to 11 in the good-looking novice chase at Haydock. After unseating early at Newbury last time, he took care of the unbeaten Champagne Mystery in very good style. He won eased down by 7 lengths. It was a really impressive performance. He was a little keen on the first circuit. He just felt like he always wanted to go half a yard quicker than his rivals. He may well have needed the run, behind Champ. He stepped forward quite a bit from that run, so be interested to see them two go at it again. He can step up to 3 miles, he can drop back to 2 miles 4. I think he's quite versatile at that. He's not a slow horse, he's quite speedy. He's 33 to 1 for the RSA and he's 25 to 1 for the JLT. I do think that is a little bit big. On the big side, he's a very talented horse, jumps very well. Pretty keen on him. On Friday at Sandown, Goshin in the juvenile hurdle. Gary Moore trained 10 to 1 favourite now for the Triumph hurdle. He blitzed his rivals in powerful fashion at Sandown. He was under a £5 penalty, made easy work of that, won by 34 lengths, eased down at the finish. Now that was 7 seconds quicker than the Class 4 novice hurdle on the card, won by Guardiola Top. It's important to note that day that they were finishing like very heavy ground horses, just almost in a walk, but he did it quite impressively. Now, in terms of Cheltenham, the jumping slightly right-handed would worry me, if I'm being honest, for a Triumph hurdle favourite at this stage. The time before, when he ran on a left-handed track, it was quite obvious that he was jumping right. I think Sandown certainly helped him that day. Everything was in his favour. Really nice horse, but I won't be carried away just yet in a big field Triumph on a left-handed track. We'll see what happens. On Saturday, the ground changed overnight at Sandown to heavy, and Fiddler on the Roof won by 7 lengths in the National Hunt Novice Hurdle over 2 miles. He recorded a very good time, 4 minutes and 12 seconds. It was actually 3 seconds quicker than the juvenile hurdle that Goshin won on the Friday, and 6 seconds quicker than the listed 0 to 50 handicap hurdle on the same day. That was won by Mac the Man, and he carried £11 more. I think that was a serious performance from Fiddler on the Roof. He looks a really nice type going forward. The last time he encountered soft ground was in Ireland at Navan, when he beat the big getaway of Willie Mullins's. The form was boosted by Edward Stone, who I think is a very smart horse, as you all know, over at Aintree on the same day. They're 2 very, very nice horses. They both look supreme bound. They're both 33 to 1 chances if you like that. I think any other year they would be much shorter in the market. I think it might be a bit of a freak year for the Irish novice hurdlers. Moving on, Esprit du Large won the King Henry VIII novice chase, the Grade 1. I think Newbane Negra just got stuck in the ground towards the finish. But it was some performance from the Evan Williams trained Esprit du Large at 14 to 1. Now, Finian's Oscar and Bristol de Meyer have both been beaten in that race in the past. In fact, no favourite has won it unless they've been heavily odds on in that race. Esprit du Large, though, for Evan Williams, jumped low, jumped quick, very fluent. Was even taking a pull at a couple of stages. Just looks a really nice horse going forward. It was actually run 0.7 seconds slower than the Grade 1 Tingle Creek. He's 25 to 1 for the Arkle at the moment. Same price as Newbane Negra. Now, considering the ground normally comes up soft on the first couple of days of the festival, think he should be shorter than that, in my opinion. I think that's quite generous. Nube Negra's going to want good ground going forward. I think good to soft at worst. I think after that performance of the weekend, I think soft ground is definitely a no-no for the Arkle for Nube Negra. Speaking of the Tingle Creek, one of the best races that I have seen live in my entire time in horse racing. It was just unbelievable. It was spine-tingling, emotional stuff. Brilliant run from Underso. What a cracking champion of a horse that is. Unbelievable he was. But definitely Saul came out on top. Just a horse that needs to be delivered really, really late as possible, I would say. He got to the front, just sort of idled a little bit. Maybe was tiring in the ground. But definitely a potential superstar. Definitely Saul. I think they're definitely going to go champion chase route. He's 6-1 for the champion chase. There is Ryanair betting available. He's 6-1 at the same price for the Ryanair. I did hear a few whispers from the likes of McCoy, etc., saying that he would win Saturday at the Tingle Creek and then he would be going to the champion chase. But take that with a pinch of salt. 2 miles definitely looks his game to me. You'd have to be Stevie Wonder if you would not have seen the way the very smart waiting patiently finished that race off. And considering plenty of horses were winning from prominent positions or making all. In fact, it's very hard to go through any of the results and find any horses that have come from the rear to win at Sandown over the 2 days. I think it was a pretty impressive performance from Waiting Patiently. He is looking exciting again. He's 16-1 for the Ryanair. It just depends on the Cheltenham. It's the Cheltenham form that I like to see. He hasn't got that yet, but this could be his year. We don't know. He was off the track for 245 days when putting that performance in, so he's probably only going to improve. That's quite exciting. Good, worth keeping an eye on him. Over in Ireland on Sunday, Min won as expected. Now 8-1 for the Ryanair, second favourite. I suppose that just depends on where Definitely the Soul will go. Mike Boyd was a big mover on Sunday in the Gold Cup market. Yes, the 4-1 2018 favourite is now 66-1 to win the Gold Cup. Could give me 200-1, I wouldn't take it. That's about everything we've covered this week. I think there was other bits and pieces, but in terms of Cheltenham going forward, I think we might have covered it all. If I missed anything, do let me know. But what a wonderful week. Cheltenham coming up this week. Definitely going to have an anti-post bet after that. I've got my eye on a couple I'm hoping will run well. So I'll let you know those in the Bet Carter video. So, couple for the tracker next week, for the next few weeks, just to keep an eye on or have a small bet on. The market may just overprice them on their performances from this weekend. Like I say, prominent runners at Sandown. Most of the runners do come from Sandown. Prominent runners from Sandown had a massive advantage. So did those making all off the front. But I picked out a couple that did make some considerable headway and did really well to finish where they did. The first one, and the most important one for me, I think, is Protector Trap for Dan and Harry Skelton. Was given far too much to do in the closing stages, but stayed on really well, stayed on the best of the rest. Looks on a very workable handicap mark. Is actually entered this coming week, so we'll see what happens there. Edward Stone was a very smart horse. The form of Fiddler on the Roof is very strong. He's a horse worth watching going forward. He was much better than the bare result would say. He was very keen for much of that race. He was taking a pull. He clattered the second last, and he's still come out on top. So he's a very smart horse. Not Chapare for Ollie Murphy. I know Ollie was keen on him running on Saturday. I bloody missed the price, but definitely a horse worth watching going forward. Fortunate George is the other from Sandown. Made significant ground out from the rear and finished third. But he looks like he's running back into form and he's a well-handicapped horse. So keep an eye on those. Mark those down, and hopefully we can get a couple of winners out of those before the next video next week. Okay, so thank you very much for listening. This has been Cheltenham Focus with me, Daryl Carter, for racingtips.com. Anti-post bet will be next week, so we will have an anti-post bet next week. I can guarantee you that. And our portfolio is building up quite nicely. Not long till Cheltenham. Come on.